Good morning. First off, we have minutes and claims.
Would ask the commissioners to approve the minutes for February 4th of 2025.
I reviewed the minutes and they seem to be accurate, and I would make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Then we have a claim docket dated January 30th of 2025 through February 6th of 2025 in the amount of $841,922,071.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Mr. Auditor. Next up, the commissioners are making an appointment to the Board of Health. This is to certify that you, Micah Thompson, are appointed to the Vigo County Board of Health effective the 31st day of January 2025 for a 4-year term expiring on December 31st, 2029. In testimony, whereas the Vigo County Board of Commissioners have herein to set their hands and seal this 31st day of January 2025. So this is a little bit,
Since we had the
Couple weeks ago.
full-time board member, Dr. Turner, stepped down this year, and Dr. Micah Thompson has stepped up, and I would like to make a motion to appoint her to Vigo County Health Department Board.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Congratulations, Micah. Next up would be an alley vacate in Blackhawk. Mr. Barber, could you present that for us, please?
Thank you, sirs. I'm requesting preliminary approval so we can go ahead and advertise and begin the period for people to remonstrate if they have any issues with this. The petitioner on this is J.C. Gummery. It is a little 16-foot alley. He owns both sides of the property in the town of Blackhawk. And like I said, this will just start the process for me to advertise, and then I'll have to get back on your agenda for actual approval after 10 days.
I apologize, Scott. You probably brought this to the commissioners on Monday, but it doesn't look like this alleyway is used whatsoever.
No, not that I can see. He owns, like I said, he owns both sides. The owner to the north is a different owner, but he's not asking for the alley to go up that far, so the public right-of-way would still exist between the northwest to southeast alley next to the railroad tracks, from there down to the orange, where the orange rectangle is, starts. That's the actual alley vacation.
I'll make a motion to move it forward. I'm okay with it.
Me too.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, is Mr. Loudermilk here? Chris, do you know anything about this, or?
I don't
want
know much
to-
about, I mean, it's just a standard cardholder agreement, so I would assume he's just wanting a credit card to be able to use for group homes.
He said that there was like 7 of them that had cards and he
Took 'em.
And then, so now there's only gonna be 4 people that have credit cards.
We
Okay.
can,
We just got 2 applications here, one for Norm and one for
Because the other 2
Catherine.
already had them.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Those are 2 new ones.
gotcha. I mean, I'm okay to move forward with it if you guys are.
Okay.
I'm fine with it.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that brings us to our Parks Superintendent, Adam Grossman. Would you like to come forward and give us a little update on all things parks?
It was a lot faster than I thought it was going to happen this morning. Went through most of this last week, but we got about 18 updates and projects. Ms. Council mentioned last week our skid steer blew up an engine, so that hurt early in the year on our equipment repair, but it was also early enough to transfer some money from new equipment. We'll just buy a little less equipment and transfer, go to council for an out-of-series transfer, and get that taken care of along with other repairs we anticipate this year. On to better stuff, well, kind of better. We got our overlook at Dewey Point. Talked to Michael Shaw last night. We still don't have a permit from the state. He needs at least 6 weeks, so probably going to back that project off till fall, make sure that we can actually do that without water underneath there. A little bit disappointed the state's taking this long to get us a permit that they knew was coming, but nonetheless, we'll wait. We'll get the permit and we'll do it in the fall. West Terre Haute Little League football has started clearing for the football field. They're in Dresser, the frontage where there used to be an old baseball and softball diamond. So we did get the permit for that, and we're able to clear off that fence row. They're going to do a little bit of grading, some field work. If you didn't see them out there were tons of kids and parents out there last year already using that football field for their practices and a couple games. So they're ratcheting it up this year, and we've got a MOU we're going to give them. They want to mow it, keep it nice, and stripe it, and so I think it's going to be awesome for the area. They'll tick up their numbers from what they were. So that's coming, already started. We've also got a connector trail that we need to look into, and then also file for permits for to connect the existing Wabashiki Trail with the pedestrian walkway with the existing parking area. So that'll be, right now you just kind of got to meander through Dresser to find your way out, and we'll have an actual connector here by the end of the year. We'll be looking for some additional funding to be able to connect those at about $70,000. So we've got the base, we've got the rock to make a rock trail. I just think it'll look better as an asphalt trail, more drawing to the eye, I guess, to take that path. So that's coming this year, pending permitting as well. We also closed on AMVETS a couple weeks ago. So in July, we'll be the proud new owners of the AMVETS Old Grotto building, and that'll finish off all the frontage there for Bicentennial Park. So a lot of discussion coming for that building and what's going on there. Griffin Bike Park, we started moving dirt yesterday. It's a little sloppy, but just good enough to be able to move some dirt. We got to plow, tried to reduce our costs to get rid of all our jump lines so that we can make room for the building. Rich is going to redo all those jump lines this summer, so they'll be closed for 2025. But unless you're a really awesome biker, you're not using those anyways. So we're clearing those off. Hopefully that'll be mostly done by Wednesday. We've got our pre-con meeting for that building. Again, the health department has just been awesome in making that a reality, making programming a reality out there to change the lives of these kids. That a lot of these kids don't have a bike, don't have the opportunity, and you know, Rich is teaching kids that are 10, 12 years old how to ride a bike. So an awesome opportunity there for youth programming, life skills, and assign those early in life. You know, if you learn to do that, then that's part of what you do. You'll do it later in life, trying to hit some of these health numbers and obesity numbers in Vigo County early in life instead of waiting until they're in their 30s and you're not going to change easily. So trying to get that going early in life. A ton going on. We're hoping by about June, late June, July, weather pending, that building we can move in. We've got a ton of storage. Rich's trailer's got holes in it where his office is. We've got mold in another storage trailer. I mean, we've just got a ton of things that we just need to get rid of, move into this building, and have an actual jump-off point for all these programming opportunities there at Griffin Bike Park. So everybody is ecstatic that that's coming. We've got renovations coming to our overlook at Hawthorne Park, Case Wetlands. That thing's been vandalized a few times, but we got a new metal roof in our pocket that we're going to put on it and do some renovation there. Disc golf at Prairie Creek Park and Fowler Park. Prairie Creek will be done this spring if we get our skid steer back, and we've had donors of $120,000 right now to make that course happen. That course is paid for, ready to go for the most part. We're still fundraising. We applied for the grant the other day for $50,000 to make Fowler Park happen. We've paid for the design at Fowler Park with the world-renowned best in the U.S. designer. That course is supposed to be in the top 20 in the U.S. by the time we get done. So an awesome opportunity there at Fowler Park. We've got almost half the whole corridor is cleared now. We're just waiting on some adjacent landowners, some other things to break loose for us so we can complete that here in March, April, May. Cabins and wagons are in place. You know, these cabins, I don't think people realize they're out there yet. Our reservation system went online. Memorial Day weekend at Fowler booked up like 3/4 in 2 days. The cabins aren't being rented yet. I just don't think people realize what they are. And when they do realize what they are, it's going to be rented a lot, especially the one at Prairie Creek. You know, they've got a little 110 fireplace, bunk beds and couch and little mini fridge, and the locations on those are awesome. So I think once people figure out exactly what they are, they're going to rent them very well. We're putting in 8% to the innkeeper's tax, so we are giving money for that this year through the cabin and wagon rentals. People have been complaining about the turnaround at Prairie Creek Park to the lower lake. We're going to redo it this year. It's a really steep incline that washes out pretty readily, but we're going to grade it, redo it, see if we can fix it a little bit. Looking into kayak rental kiosk at Hawthorne Park, an automated system that'll let people rent their kayak, their paddles, and their PDFs, everything right there with a card. We don't have to assign a seasonal employee to try to run that, and return on investment has been proven through the years. So that'll be awesome for Hawthorne Park coming up. Accessible pathways to playgrounds and grills. Yeah, we've been working on that, chipping away, but this year is the year we delineated to finish every one of them to make sure there's an accessible pathway to every playground and every grill that we have in the parks. We'll have a new playground coming at Fowler Park. Right now the assigned time is March 4th. Coming in at Fowler Brentlinger Shelter. So a lot of new coming in there as well. Pancake breakfast, highly successful. We had 430, 450 people, and I would say a majority of those come to Prairie Creek Park for tours. We gave tours straight 4 hours, 2 to 3 of us, and hundreds of people come through the operation, which was great. We were boiling that day. And apparently people love their maple syrup. So we're sold out again, but we'll make some more today. They're cooking right now, so we'll get that shipment back to the office as soon as we get it off of the boiler today. Thanks to the county highway, with everything else going on, we're working on the new park that's been talked about for years, the Lock property outside of Riley. County highway come out and put a pipe in, started to pull off for us. The signage is done, so starting here in the next month or two, we're going to make the walking path and the signage to the Lock a bridge, and it'll be ready, I hope, here by late spring to have a grand opening of a new park that's very close proximity to the Riley Spur Trail that hopefully will connect that with the park in the coming year or two. We'll see. Any questions on, we rifled through a lot of things and I probably skipped several.
Yeah, I have a question. Yeah, Adam, I have a question. It seems like a couple of items here, the Griffin Bike Park with the children's participation and the football field. Is there something you're doing with the marketing or something that's getting the participation out there?
We've got an existing base. I've talked to Bobby Moore and several other Chances Services for Youth, Thrive as well. They were going to give bus rides from Boys and Girls Club, Chances Services, different places where we can take those kids to Griffin Bike Park for that programming opportunity. So that was a lot of that part of it. We've been talking with West Harwood Little League for the last year or two over at Bicentennial Park, trying to figure out, is Lee Fields the answer, is Dresser, Bicentennial Park the answer. So they already had their base as well that they wanted to move in there. So to those two specific, it was just go do it.
Okay, thanks. I was curious because we give these opportunities to the Parks Department, but volunteers like that, this youth football and things like that, just help support their efforts. Then, great.
Yep.
Mike, particularly the football league in Vigo County has really struggled for a few years trying to get off the ground. So it was awesome to see them choose our property over there, and the participation was great. I mean, I bet you there were 200 or 300 people there during a practice, just sitting, chilling, watching their kids play, and excited for West Terre Haute specifically. So,
Yeah.
just one quick thing, Adam, can you give us maple syrup?
Give it to you? I mean, this
yeah.
stuff's
Oh,
like,
not give.
it's
sorry.
like crack.
Not
It's-
give. We will gladly pay, but first come, first serve.
We'll bring a shipment in this afternoon or tomorrow.
Okay, deal. Thanks for the update.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, hey, real quick. wait a minute. You guys doing a great job. Our Parks Department's one of the best around, and appreciate all that you guys do. I can't let this go untalked about. AMVET's property, purchasing that, that's pretty big.
That's huge, yeah.
What, any plans yet, or when will you have plans for that?
We've started discussion with several. I mean, the first off the top possibility was demo and open that up, additional parking, different things of that nature. I've had a couple people approach me since then, so they're interested in making something out of it. So I really don't know yet, but a lot of discussion over the next 6 months to a year.
Okay. Great
All right,
job. Thank you. Let's see, we're up to public comment. Anybody have any comments or questions they'd like to come up and ask? Come on up, Shannon.
Commissioner Klinkenbeard, I think we have a rezoning meeting after this too.
Okay.
I didn't want to get in anybody's way. Hi, Shannon Giles with Tobacco Free Vigo and Chances and Services for Youth. Let's talk zoning. Last Thursday at the City Council meeting, they passed an amendment to the City Code Chapter 4, Article 24, regarding location of retail tobacco and vaping establishments. This had been in the works for a few months. So I wanted to give you a little bit of background about how we got to where we ended up, and with the hopes that we will be able to enact and enforce this countywide. Nationally, the tobacco industry spends about $1 million an hour on marketing, and 75% of that is retail. So it's point of sale, where these shops are located. In Indiana, that comes out to be about $293 million, or $43 per Indiana resident. We get $9 million from the Indiana Department of Health statewide to do tobacco prevention and cessation. So we have pea shooters, they have tanks. So that's why this ordinance was particularly important. Point of sale advertising encourages youth to vape or start vaping. It reduces the ability of folks who want to quit because they're constantly bombarded with it, and it disproportionately affects certain marginalized communities. So what we did with this ordinance, the original ordinance that was proposed by the mayor was designed mostly around aesthetics. It was designed that no tobacco and vape retailers, and by that I mean specifically people whose primary retail business is tobacco and vape sales, not convenience stores, gas stations, big box stores, Kroger's, et cetera. But just the tobacco and vape retailers, was to limit their ability to open within basically a mile of an existing location. Basically to not have what happened on Wabash to happen anyplace else, where there's about, 6 of them within about a quarter mile of each other. We really wanted to expand that to include areas where youth tend to congregate. The other part of this was the ordinance said 18 was the legal age. We had to fix that to 21. So as part of the ordinance, we have expanded it so that it also includes within 1,000 feet of religious institutions, community parks, and community centers, any place that youth will regularly congregate. We also wanted to include daycare centers, but after the engineers looked at the locations of daycare centers around Vigo County, we realized that we wouldn't be able to find a spot for any new tobacco and vape retailers, which I was okay with, but we live to fight another day. So that's where we are with the new law. There was a question at the city council meeting about schools. Schools are already part of a state law, and that 1,000-foot distance is part of state law, so we just duplicated what was already in state law. However, because of certain carve-outs and because that law didn't go into effect until 2020, 16% of tobacco and vape retailers are still located within 1,000 feet of a school. So, maybe there's some work to be done down the road. But this is an excellent first step. This is a robust law that I think will do a lot of good. After adding vaping to our smoking ordinance a couple of years ago and opening Indiana's first casino to open smoke-free in accordance with ordinance, Vigo County is continuing to be at the forefront of trying to make our community healthier where tobacco and e-cigarette use is concerned. So I appreciate the county's support in continuing to enact and enforce this new ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll take questions if anybody's got any.
What's a pack of cigarettes cost today?
Average price is about $5. More if it's menthol. Menthols are closer to 10, and there's a few discounts. Part of that retail marketing, that $1 million an hour that tobacco companies do is coupons and deals and discounts. That's considered part of point of sale marketing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. And anybody else? Public comment? If not, any comments from commissioners or other elected officials?
Yep, Commissioner Clinkenbeard, there is a House Bill 1628. If anybody's interested, you can write it down. It's authored by Representative Craig Snow. Just want to read some language in that bill to make sure that everybody's aware that we're adamantly opposed to the bill. It states a preemption of all local planning and zoning for wind. Local governments may adopt the statewide standards plus 20%. Jared, you'll love this. If outside of that threshold of local government materially affects the ability of the project to move forward, the wind company or solar company can appeal to the IURC, Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission, and they can issue an order moving it forward to avoid local control. Amendment states that if a pipeline is permitted by the federal government or the state and constructed in accordance with certain safety regulations, local government cannot prohibit the construction. And then specifically, the biggest one for me is provides that a person that seeks to locate, construct, or deploy any facilities, equipment, or infrastructure in connection with a multi-jurisdictional infrastructure project, which that can have a lot of different meanings, county to county, federal, private partnership project, anything like that, is not required to obtain from a local authority a permit or any other use or zoning approval with respect to the siting, construction, or deployment. So, as Vigo County supports economic development, we love companies coming into our community and supplying jobs in our community, but we feel that we need a local say in those projects. Some of those are pretty contentious, as we've seen in the past. Just to be able to have a seat at the table would be awesome. So the Indiana County Commissioners Association is in Indianapolis today, testifying against this bill and offering our thoughts. So just want to make sure everybody's aware of that and make sure you guys are aware of that, and we continue to stay on top of it.
So trying to take away more local control.
Yeah.
Well, thanks you, Commissioner Schweitzer, for being up to the State House and keeping us updated on all this. I think you're going back tomorrow, correct?
Maybe we got a meeting in the morning.
Okay.
I gotta talk to Danielle about that.
Okay.
We'll see.
I'll be there.
Good.
Commissioner Morris, anything?
Never a dull moment.
Okay, so after this, we do have a rezoning meeting. We'll stand in recess till next week. Thank you.